everyone, Intuitive Kathleen Miller here, and I am doing a quick video about the Lifewave stem cell patches and detoxification. So this is something that for me, working as a health coach, and before I begin, I am going to do just a quick disclaimer. Guys, nothing I'm saying here is medical advisement. I am not a licensed physician. I am not diagnosing. This is not a medical claim or recommendation of any kind. Please check with your own physician to be sure before you even begin any lifestyle change or health change, but also that what's appropriate for you with everything that you're dealing with health-wise. But what this is really for informational purposes only, and what I'm sharing here is about the detoxification that I'm personally experiencing, and I was trying to find some more information about myself to just, be just doing the best I can, but also really sharing this with others because I know I've come from decades of detoxification. I had some chemical exposure early in life. I also have struggled with systemic candida in my 20s. So this is, I've really been on a pretty focused health journey for several decades to not only be as holistic and clean as possible, but also to kind of stay ahead of the curve and still be incredibly vital and as high energy as possible. So I wanted to share because I think what I've seen from following comments from others, and also in my own experience now with using several of the patches for many weeks now, I'm realizing that it's easy to misidentify that the patch isn't working or something's wrong when actually you might be having a hexarmor or detox reaction. And what that means is that sometimes when the body gets stronger, it begins to have more bandwidth of energy to actually cleanse, to go deeper into the cell, to go deeper into organs, glands, tissue, and clean up in the body. Because for most people, if you're very stressed or you're very kind of high, like living high, full throttle, if you will, sometimes the body's just keeping up with you and trying to keep those adrenals going and for you to just kind of get through what you need to get to. When people begin to cleanse or fast or change their diet to kind of a cleaner diet or add sometimes a cleansing protocol of herbs or different measures that you can add into the mix, certainly the UV, some people are doing infrared, and these patches themselves are a crystal kind of infrared light that is, activating the cell. So with that said, again, depending on where you are, when that light signal comes in, especially with the X39, and it's really going to your stem cells to look at, okay, what's going on that is needing to balance the most in your body, then that's going to begin to kind of prioritize and for some begin a slight detoxification, because if you have increased repair happening, certainly with the YH AON, that's a peptide in the liver, and most people have extremely congested or poorly functioning liver. So that's also going to be helping get some of those toxins over, because having a lower toxic load is the name of the game for all of us. That is something that we are all really in such a unique place with, because even, for me with a cleanest diet, stellar regimen, I work out every day, I meditate, I know I'm doing so many things right. And yet we're living in such an interesting world, what we're breathing, walking on ground wiring, Wi-Fi being higher than ever. We have untold of influences that are challenging our system, our central nervous system, but also our immunity in a way that we've never had. So, when some people say, well, how long do I need to do the patches and what is this about? And it's like, well, how long are you going to take supplements? How long are you going to eat clean? Are you just done when you get that? This is really a possibility to be adding support for this. And so if you knew, hey, if I had a light signal going 12 hours a day, that's contributing to rebalancing the system, or even 24 hours if you do a day and a night patch, then to me, it's sort of common sense that support for just natural balancing is something I would personally choose. And of course, it needs to resonate for you, for sure. But let me get back to the detox symptoms. So for a lot of people, as I was saying before, especially if they haven't cleansed before, I'm really surprised in working with countless clients who do work in the wellness industry, how common it is that they've never done a parasite cleanse or a liver cleanse or just even a basic cleanse. And that's not a judgment. It's just an interesting awareness, because for many, I think it's just not the awareness of how much our bodies are coping with. And also, if you eat fast food or, indulge in alcohol, those things, you can have an increased toxicity. And certainly if you have immunity challenges of any kind, then really keeping that imbalance is the name of the game, for sure. But a couple common detoxification symptoms can be rash or things coming through the skin is very, very common. And that's just more toxins that are going into the bloodstream. The body's like not getting them out fast through the urine and the feces, so it begins to kind of push it out through the skin. Having, sweat, like smelly sweat is another really common one. Certainly for people, I get that a lot. If people start doing the intermittent fasting realms, they notice, wow, my sweat's really strong. That again is more toxicity coming through the skin. Remember, your skin is the largest organ in the body, so that's really an easy place for your body to be pushing that out. For some, it's acne. For some, it is restless sleep also, because as we sleep in Chinese medicine, that adrenal, and then 3 to 5 is that liver. So if you're waking up during those times, that can be more activity of detoxification in those organs. So not to misidentify that, that there's anything wrong that's happening. More importantly is to redirect and ask, okay, what's required for this to kind of move through as easily as possible? Because remember, you're getting to a better place. It's just like a cold. A cold is really, too many toxins or a lot of buildup or sinus buildup, and which is common after the holidays. Everybody indulges, and then here comes the flu with like pushing all of it out. And so you have headache, people are tired, they have no energy. What is that? That's the body like attempting to get this overload of congestion out of the body. So now if you're not doing that, you're healthy, and then you begin to cleanse, you can also have a deeper layer of that coming out. And that's for those of you that deal with candida. That's something that, it's been 25 years now probably that I have been on continuous layers where I think I'm out of the woods, and then all of a sudden a deeper layer is coming out from the organs. Because you got to remember, the body is so brilliant in coping with what we're struggling with that it will put it into different parts of the body. And so the detoxification slowly over time can be way more beneficial than trying to force anything out. And that's something I really do love about these Lifewave stem cell patches, is that I've noticed, yes, there's detoxification happening, but it is gentle. The name of the game is drinking clean, pure, whether it's reverse osmosis or like a spring, healthy filtered spring water if you can, and really having huge amounts of water and access to water all the time. Because if you're not getting that hydration with quality electrolytes, okay, so this can be coconut water. I'm a big fan of the Vega. It's a sugar-free electrolyte, because sometimes with the Gatorade and Powerade, those are so much sugar, guys. That's really kind of the opposite direction, in my opinion. That just isn't something I would choose. But when you choose like a quality trace mineral and keeping the minerals high, and then of course a healthy, clean diet, getting sunshine. I'm a big circadian rhythm fan, so getting in that sunrise, getting in that kind of daily, letting your skin really get some vitamin D for 10-20 minutes, and being able to get the rest, because there might be days you need to just give yourself some rest, a little more rest intervals. Remember, the body's doing so much internally. So, whether you're just doing the X39, or maybe some of you are doing, a combination of a few patches, it's again going to be unique to what your body's doing. And you might have a couple of days where you feel great, and then all of a sudden you notice, wow, something else is shifting, and what's required here. So I also find that when we are detoxifying, that we can also be accessing, because remember, toxins in the body can also be connected to trauma. So there's times that, if you went through something intense and then the body really, went into coping mechanism, it's not uncommon when people begin to cleanse or fast, or especially an extended fast, that those emotions also release. So really being gentle to find, okay, do you need some therapy to help unwind that from the body? Do you need just some time to kind of rest and ask for what therapeutic releases, are, again, appropriate for you and really, appropriate for your life. And so really asking from where you are from day to day, because what I've noticed is I'll have a couple days where I'm really great, and then I'm aware of, okay, more things are shifting and clicking into kind of a new place. Because you got to remember, this is working at the mitochondrial cellular level. So it's not a forcing of chemical or anything kind of trying to control the body. This is actually sending this light signal for your natural homeostasis, your natural balancing to occur. But for many of us, between injuries, illnesses we've had, viruses, all kinds of different things that many of us have in our health equation, then there's more that's needing to kind of recalibrate. There's more that, and especially age as well, because every 10 years, you need a month of patching for every 10 years you've been alive to just kind of really support kind of a new set point and really balancing a lot that has happened along the way. So really being patient is probably one of the biggest tips. Is you've got to be patient. Make sure you're doing that health tracker and you're checking in either week or once a month at least, and just kind of mark the calendar or make a note on your kind of iPhone so that you're checking in to kind of really be aware of, okay, what is moving? Because for me, there's a couple things moving, but there's a lot that's shifting. It's kind of on the fence. I'm waiting for it to be like, okay, that's certainly changing. But the ones that are, which is for me, inflammation, pain, those are really down from where I've had, some chronic issues that I've shared before. And you can see that also. I have a 30-day testimonial video. So, but this detox piece, which might be waves, a little bit of waves of fatigue and whatnot, most often extra water, some extra electrolytes. And I don't mean like once a day. Sometimes I take electrolytes 3 or 4 times a day because I'm aware, okay, there's a lot moving, or certainly if you have kind of, you're feeling like super thirsty. Once you're thirsty, you are in dehydration. We never want to get to thirst. We want to get to, we want to be aware of, we're constantly hydrating. And then if you notice a little bit of kind of dampening, almost like the leaves that go down, and then you notice when you water it, they lift back up. We want to stay where we're not coming down too far. We want to keep that hydration really, really, really high. So I hope this is helpful. And if you have specific detoxification questions, certainly check. And if you're struggling, that's something that I saw David Schmidt talk about in one of the product lectures. And he was sharing how for some people who have chronic health issues, or you're in a major health state, that, it is important to honor that the detoxification might be more intense. And of course, to check with your doctor for what's appropriate for you. But if you can only wear the patch for a few hours, or if you only, if you notice detoxification is happening too immediately, taking a break or only using it for a few hours. And again, check with your medical care to figure out what interval is appropriate for you. But this will help it to just be more gentle and to, be appropriate for wherever you are. So I hope this has been useful. Thank you so much for being here, and happy patching, everybody.